Hey everybody, let's take a look at test 3 review problem number 17. This is going to be a duplicate. There's two 17s on this review for some reason. This one's the one that's under exponential equations. And so this is our first encounter with exponential equations on this review. And so the reason we know it's exponential is because you have your variable that's trapped in the exponent. So we have a game plan according to our flow chart that we went over, and it said if you have exponentials, the first plan of attack is to see if you can make your bases the same. And so at first glance, you're thinking, oh, maybe that's possible because, 75, you're starting to bounce around some ideas with 5 in there. But you do need to recognize that this would have to have a base of 5. So that would be 5 to the 1 is 5, 5 squared is 25, and then 5 to the third power, as tempting as it is not 75, it is 125. So the moral of the story is this can never be rewritten as 5 to some kind of whole number exponent. It's not possible. 75 lands between 25 and 125. So it must be, I don't know, 2 point something, 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 but not really feasible here in this case. So if you cannot make the bases the same, meaning I can't make them both be a 5, then the next game plan is to rewrite it in logarithmic form. Rewriting it in log form will help us to get rid of this exponent. And so I could write it as log base 5 to 75 is equal to my exponent 3x minus 1. This is perfect because now I can easily access my x by just using my linear equation rules. Add 1 to both sides. This is very tempting to add a 1 to the 75, but that is a huge no-no. We cannot add it to 75. Remember, log base 5 of 75 is some number. And so you can't just say, oh, that's the same as 75 plus 1. That's not correct. So don't do it. Now we have equals to 3x because I moved the 1 over. Now we divide both sides by 3. I will totally give you that this looks really intimidating and it looks quite complicated, but at the end of the day, this is simply just a calculator problem now. You just put it in the calculator. So then you're putting in parenthesis log base 5 of 75 plus 1 all over 3 if you have the newer calculator. There's a few of you in this class that have a little bit older calculator, so that's not going to work out so gracefully. So you need to use what we call our change of base formula here. So what does that look like? Well, if we were to put this whole thing in the calculator, it'd be open parenthesis, log of 75 divided by log of 5. That's your change of base formula. Plus 1, close that parenthesis. This is acting like the numerator all over 3, and that's going to equal as x. This is your change of base formula. If you have an older calculator, don't sweat this, and don't even try it on the calculator if you don't need to. Of course, I'm going to show you both so that I can accommodate all the people in the class with their calculators. So let's do this guy first because I think that's a little bit easier, more straightforward. So turn on your calculator. So we're going to use the math button right here, math. If you scroll up or down, you'll get to a button that says log base. And so you're gonna hit enter. It allows you to put in any base you want. So I have 75. I did forget to use some outer parentheses here. So let me go ahead and insert. Second insert will allow you to insert some parentheses. Now I come over here, then I'm gonna hit plus 1. Close that parenthesis. This is acting like the numerator. It's acting like all this. Then you're going to hit divided by 3, and I get the answer of 1.2275 equals x. And so this is acting like, this is the answer. This is the answer. So let's take a quick look at, well, what if we had the older calculator and we were having to use this change of base? Again, for everybody that had this calculator, you're free to move on to the next video. This is only pertaining to those that are forced to use this based on circumstances. And so let's clear it out because I don't want there to be any confusion. This one does not require you to go to the math button. This is all working with your log button on the outside of the calculator. And so we have open parenthesis. Then we're going to do log of 75 divided by log of 5 plus 1, close that parenthesis. This is the numerator. Let me make sure I did that. Nope, I can already see a quick little mistake here. Second insert, I need to insert another set of parentheses here. Second insert, okay. Because I need to have all of the log in one set of parentheses. So this parenthesis and this parenthesis go with the log. This parenthesis and this parenthesis is going with the numerator. So then divide that by 3. And sure enough, we have the same answer. Now, of course, you're welcome to do this in pieces. What I mean by pieces is, you know, figure out your change of base first. So let me show you. That would be log 75 divided by log 5, and then hit enter. Then hit plus 1. Then hit that value divided by 3, and you get the same answer. So it's all a matter of what you feel comfortable with. So if you're using the change of base formula and it's intimidating to make sure you have all those parentheses, you can even see I messed up at first, then just do it a little bit at a time and work your way through it. But then there's the answer.